So if you're just joining, I'm Keenya Kelly. I am the business calibration consultant for KenyaKelly.com. You can check out all things Keenya Kelly by going to KenyaKelly.com. And that way you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, and Twitter. And everywhere that you don't want to follow me, you can follow me. All right? So let's talk about it. So as it pertains to the roller coaster of your job and your business. Now, let me give you guys my backstory. I'm currently working from home. I run a branding and consulting firm that's called If You Brand It, and I'm also the founder of Return of the Curls, which is the ultimate curly girl experience. Now, before that, I had a full-time job. Okay, I spent most of my life in corporate America selling advertising or selling something in some form of something sales and marketing. Okay, but I got my start in network marketing back in 2002. So I'm in network marketing and I'm going to school full time and I'm learning how to be an entrepreneur and all that type of stuff. To where eventually I end up getting a job years later selling advertising for a newspaper in Kentucky. But that entrepreneurial spirit was still there, right? So when you are an entrepreneur and you work a 9-to-5, you're having to have, like, it's kind of like split personality in a sense, right? So as an employee, you have one job, one duty, and you do exactly as you're told, right? You get there at a certain time, you have a certain break, you go back to work, and you get off at a certain time, right? And you do that job and you get paid the amount of money that you get paid, right? Not only that, whatever they are telling you to do, you have to do it. If they tell you you have to dress a certain way, act a certain way, all that type of stuff, you guys know what I mean in terms of your environment at work. You have to be that because those are the rules. When you're an entrepreneur, there are no rules, right? There's no one telling you what time to come in, what time to leave, what time to have lunch. You're not guaranteed to have a paycheck. You know, nobody's telling you how to dress, how to talk, how to post on social media. Nobody's telling you all that. So you're finding yourself with like a split personality, right? If you can relate to what I'm talking about, meaning the 9-to-5 and then also having the entrepreneurship and feeling like you got that split personality, just type a 1 for me, okay? I just want to see what's going on here. And I remember like working my 9-to-5 and trying to figure out like, you can't talk to me like that. I own a business. But realizing that, yes, you can talk to me like that. I'm your employee, right? So the truth is about the emotional roller coaster of entrepreneurship as working a 9-to-5, it is like this over and over and over again, like every single day. And when you wake up in the morning, you have to, it's like a different type of energy, right? It's like you have to have energy for when you wake up, when you go to work, on your way home from work, and then doing your entrepreneur endeavors, and then you go to sleep, right? Like a lot of people with 9-to-5s, when it's 5 o'clock, they're like, whew, I'm so tired, I'm going home, I'm going to relax my feet. But that ain't the case as an entrepreneur. When you get off work, you are back at work. You are kicking it, right? And so one of the things I always want to help people to understand is that if at some point in life your goal is to be a full-time self-employed entrepreneur, your life for a short while is going to be out of balance, okay? Your life for a short while is going to be out of balance. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is the average person works 8 hours a day, right? 9-to-5 or something like that. As an entrepreneur that has a job, that's not the case. You are going to have to work from 8 to faint. That's what we call it, 8 to faint. All right? Meaning when you wake up till you faint at night for a period of time. Because you're like, it just is what it is. Like, I always tell people that you should have a job, a dream, and a hustle, right? A job, a dream, and a hustle. The job pays your bills. The dream is what you're ultimately working towards. And then a hustle funds that dream, right? So let's just say that we're talking about the 9-to-5 and then the other entrepreneurship. Most people, when they get off at 5, that's their hustle that they're having to do. That hustle is what's making them money. They may be in a network marketing company. They may be doing this or doing that or whatever. And they're taking that money and putting it towards the ultimate dream, which will let them quit their job one day. Right? So you're technically working on 3 things at one time. Can anybody relate to that? How many of you guys are working on your 9 to 5 and you got a couple other irons in the fire because you're trying to make it work? Anybody? Is anybody like that out there? Now, I want you guys to understand that I've done that plenty of times, okay? I'll just give you the most recent. When I was working at, I can't remember the name of the company was, but it was a part-time job. Well, it was a full-time job, but it was a temp job. And I was interviewing to work for Sprint, right? So I ended up getting on at Sprint, and that was full-time, 6 figures, with 6-figure pressure and demands and all that. I ended up getting involved in a network marketing company called Total Life Changes, but I also already had Return of the Curls, right? So you're talking about those 3 things, right? And so there was Sprint, there was TLC, and then Return of the Curls all at the same time. So I'm working all 3 of them all at the same time, right? Eventually, I left Sprint, right? And when I left Sprint, guess what I picked up? If You Branded, my branding and consulting firm, right? So all 3 of them were going. Return of the Curls, If You Branded, and then TLC was helping me generate a significant amount of money, and I was taking that money and putting it towards everything else, right? Now, I'm only working If You Branded, my branding and consulting firm, with Keenya Kelly and Return of the Curls, right? But I'm still working 8 to faint. Like, don't get it twisted. When I get off of this broadcast, I've got a lot of work to do because I work, I'm building a business, right? Does it feel out of whack some days? Absolutely, right? And then plus, I started ministry school yesterday, right? It's called School of the Supernatural here in Houston. So I've got Return of the Curls, I've got Keenya Kelly, If You Branded, and then ministry school, right? So that's a lot, and it's always doing this, right? But if you know that ahead of time, then you know it ahead of time, right? Like, entrepreneurship is not easy. I don't care what people say. It's not easy, especially in the world we live in today. You're competing with everybody. Like, before social media, people didn't know about this company and this company and this company. They didn't know about all those companies that are doing the same thing that you're doing. They didn't even know they existed. They didn't even know that they existed. And so they just kept buying from you. But now they know that you exist, and they exist, and they exist, and they exist. And at any point in time, all these companies can undercut you, right? At any point in time, these companies can come and undercut you. And you're like, oh my God, right? So it can be intense, right? And so there is the emotional roller coaster of that. But would I have it any other way? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have it any other way. Do I find it stressful at times? Yes. Like, y'all have no idea. Like, I smile on the camera with y'all, but sometimes I be stressed out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm learning to release that and rely on God, because clearly I can't control it anyway, right? But I'm sharing all this with you guys tonight because I want you to know that it is worth it, okay? So for those of you guys that are just joining, if you guys wouldn't mind sharing this on Facebook, Periscope, and Twitter, I'd appreciate it so much. And then tap your screen and give me some hearts. It is worth it. You know what I mean? I think about what's getting ready to happen in my life and in my business. I can't even share the details, but God has just opened up some major doors for me. But one of the reasons why that door opens is because, 1, I'm in a relationship with him, right? 2, because of my destiny before I was ever born. And then I put in the work, right? I've been doing the work all these years. I've been doing the work and doing the work and doing the work. And so now when people show up and they're looking for what it is that I have, I'm not having to get ready because I've already done everything, right? Like let's just say today, if somebody wanted to give me a TV show or whatever, they would say, well, do you have enough topics to last you for 6 months? I would say, yeah, absolutely. And they would say, really? And I would say, yeah, here, go to my YouTube channel. And on YouTube, they're going to find 520 videos. There's 520 videos on YouTube of me. That's 520 different titles of TV shows, right? Plus all the content that's in the videos. Is everybody with me? If you're with me, say I'm with you, right? So, if somebody says they want to launch a new blog site or a podcast or whatever, do you have enough content? Absolutely. It's all on my YouTube channel, right? If you want to learn about who is Keenya Kelly, you don't even have to call me to find out who I am. You can literally type in Keenya Kelly in Google, and guess what's going to happen? All this stuff is going to pop up. Now, I don't know what all is going to pop up. Jesus, fix it. But I do know that all types of stuff is going to pop up, right? Thanks for commenting. I remember when I did a 2-minute talk. I was trying to pitch to get on TEDx, and I didn't get on, but I had a 2-minute pitch on stage in Richmond, Virginia. And I just talked about me, and I was self-conscious, and this, and how I came into myself and launched Return of the Curls. And at the end of it, when I walked, well, first of all, everybody went bananas. I don't even know what happened. I said, it must be the anointing, because I don't even know what happened. You hear what I'm saying? I'm for real. All these people ran up to me after I was finished and was giving me their business cards, want me to do this, want me to do that. And the next day, I was contacted by the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond. And I was like, for what? I was talking about confidence in my natural hair, but for whatever reason, they wanted to talk to me. So we set up a meeting to get together and meet up at this coffee shop. And they said, come with some whatever. So I came with all my ideas and my thoughts and a notepad. And when I sat down, they were all giggling. And I was like, what is wrong? Like, they were like, I said, so, I was asking them questions, so what do you need? And they were just like, we don't need anything. We Googled you. We found your videos on YouTube and we love you. What? Like, this was years ago when I didn't have the ring light. Everything was bootleg, right? And they were like, oh my God, we love you. And we want you to come and speak to all of our employees during something week. They had me speak for 20 minutes and they paid me $300, right? At the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond. And the pitch, like a 2-minute pitch did it. And then my YouTube channel did it. But listen to what I'm saying. I was working a full-time job at the time. I was working Return of the Curls. And then I was still pitching for my life. Right? And then, you see what I'm saying? So, what if I would have said, oh, I'm tired. I had a bad day at work. I'm just tired. I don't want to go. I would have missed out on that amazing opportunity. Now, I guarantee you, if I want to speak at the Federal Reserve Bank of Houston, I can contact the Richmond branch and say, can you guys write me a letter of recommendation? And I can take that letter and give it to Houston or wherever I am, right? But all of that, was in on it. You see what I'm saying? And so it's a lot of work to work a 9-to-5 and then run a business and then have your own personal life. But is it worth it? Yeah. Like, we just celebrated our 1-year anniversary for my branding and consulting firm, If You Brand It. We just celebrated it. And it was amazing. It's just knowing that we made it a year, and then knowing that we could cut our prices in half. Like, we did a half off special. Do you hear what I'm saying? We did 50% off of everything. Logos, websites, brand packages, everything. 50% off. And people are coming out of nowhere buying everything, right? But the only reason why I can do that is because at one point in time, I worked my 9-to-5. I worked my hustle. I worked my dream. I worked all of that stuff all at the same time. Is it easy? No, it's far from easy. Listen to me. I say this to you guys all the time, but just listen to this specifically. Listen, and just think about it from your perspective. Thank you for sharing, Kendra. Listen. I was married in my bed with my husband, all that. All of a sudden, one day, the roof came off the house, off the marriage, right? I'm forced to leave. And I'm like, what in the world is going on, right? 7 days later, I have my Return of the Curls hair show, right? So listen, I'm working my full-time job, okay? I have Return of the Curls, my business, right? And the show is coming up in 7 days, and the roof just came off the house in my marriage, right? And so I'm dealing with, now you got the emotions of that, plus the demands of the show, right? So then, okay, now the show's over. Now I've got to figure out, where am I going to live? I got to find a place to live. I got to come up with money this, money that, right? So now what happens is I only have one income coming in, because it was two taking care of the business, our lives. Now it's just one. So now I got to get a better job. So I have my job, interview for another job. It's like trying to find jobs to interview for while working my business, right? I get the job, right? So then I still have Return to the Curls, and then I get involved in Total Life Changes, and I'm building that business with thousands of people in my team while going through the emotions of a divorce, the legalities of a divorce, and the spiritual battles of a divorce, right? Then the Holy Spirit tells me to move to Houston, Texas, when I didn't even have a job in Houston, Texas. Like, they didn't have a job available for me, so I had to pray and fast and believe for that job. So you talk about roller coasters, those are a lot of roller coasters, right? But when I think about it, when I look at one, what did it make me into? It made me into a fearless warrior, right? Now, don't get it twisted. It was by the grace of God, like I'm just telling you, right? But it made me into a fearless warrior, right? It also made me understand the things that people go through, right? It also made me see how, even in a catastrophic situation, I can take this and put this into a box, and I can put this into a box, I can put this into a box. Even though in my past life or whatever, everything always ran together, I learned my strength, that I could compartmentalize, that I could put this in this box, and I could put this in this box, and this in this box. Not for long, but for a period of time to function, right? And now I'm on here with you guys, sharing this with you. And I can't tell you how many people that I'm talking to about all these subjects on a regular basis on one-on-one sessions, helping them to get a hold to their lives, get inspired for life, start a business, launch a business, and become successful, right? I've learned that this is what I do. Like, for the longest time, I've always said, oh, I'm the strategic brand advisor for If You Brand It. And I just realized recently that I'm more than that, right? And so we just changed my business title. My business title is Business Calibration Consultant, right? Because what do? When people consult with me, I don't just help them build a brand. I help them look at their entire life, their goal, 10, 20 years down the line. And then we build a brand around the ultimate goal, right? And people need inspiration, but they also need the information, and they also need the execution, right? So they need the inspiration, the information, but also the execution. And I realized that's exactly what I do. People come to me, they get inspired and motivated, but they don't leave motivated. They get a plan. We go, okay, so what you trying to do? I'm trying to do this, this, and this. Great. That's what you're trying to do. Now let's do this, this, and this. And this is what we can design to help you do that. And when I looked at it, I said, well, that's pretty darn good, right? So someone can come to us with me with nothing, with just a dream. And I am able to pull the dream out of them, show them how it can be done, give them practical steps on how to do it, and then my team can execute and put it together. That's amazing, right? And I just didn't realize we were doing that. But guess what happened? All these years of working my full-time jobs and working my part-time dreams and my hustles and doing all that stuff is what has got me to this place. And again, the entrepreneurship is a roller coaster, but it's like the best roller coaster ride I've ever been on, right? It's the best roller coaster ride I've ever been on. Like, I guarantee you guys, y'all going to start watching me over the next 90 days going, what in the world has happened? And the only thing that happened, guys, is that I've been doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I shared with you guys that we have everything half off, right? Now, I normally charge $500 for a 90-minute session. It's all half off. We're giving a 90-minute session for $250, right? You're getting a 90-minute session with me for $250, and it's normally $500. right? And it's going from September 1st through September 14th, right? And we have logos and websites and all that type of stuff. You can click on the link in this video to see it all. So everything expires on September the 15th, okay? So if you guys need some help in your business, if you need your brands built and things of that nature, I would love to help you. You can just click the link in this video and I would love to work with you. But before we go tonight, does anybody have any questions? I will be on here consistently now on Periscope, chatting with you guys more, because this is where I be, this is where I started it, and I decided to come back to where I started, and then we'll build and grow from there. Okay? Any questions? Any questions, anybody? Any questions? Well, if we don't, you guys, if you guys want to take advantage of that, 90 minutes with me for $250 or anything else, everything is available at that link. Don't forget, you guys, that if you brand it, they will come. If you brand it, they will come. So God bless you guys. Have a fantastic night, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.